At the demesne, Mac calls in a missing report on James as Felicia phones Maxie. Felicia tells Maxie they'll circle the demesne again and all meet at the Forces. James arrives at the Quartermain boathouse jetties looking for Cody. He finds a frisbee, tosses it, and it goes into the water. When he hears Willow coming, he hides in the boathouse. Nina appears and says she was told Willow was down then. Willow explains that the family is heading to the sand and that she forgot her chapeau. Nina brings up the elevator incident, and Willow says they both know she rushed out because of Drew. She says it's why she's relinquishing from the Institute and returning to General Hospital. Willow cries that she's feeling so shamefaced about kissing Drew, and she can't let it be again. James overhears the secret. In the Forces, Maxie addresses to her mama on the phone. She says Cody is searching for James, and Felicia promises they'll find him. Maxie smothers that the only one in further trouble than James right now is his forefather. Spinelli arrives at the Forces, and Cody and Sasha follow. Cody says they haven't set up James anywhere. Mac and Felicia soon appear, and Sasha suggests they resolve up. Mac and Felicia offer to stay then in case James returns. Formerly alone, Felicia tells Mac that this gibberish with Cody ends now. Felicia says James adores Cody, and he ran down because Mac wouldn't let James see him. Mac reminds her that he changed his mind, but Felicia says it was too late as James had formerly run off. Felicia feels like he's designedly chastising Cody as he knows how important Cody adores James. She says his pride was bruised and he to get between them. Felicia throws Mac's history in his face and how he came to Port Charles with his own docket. Still, he grew up and had numerous alternate chances given to him on the way. She finds it shocking he can't extend the same to his old son. Outdoors, Cody feels James ran down because of him. Sasha says this is on him and Maxie easily blames Mac. She says they will find him together. Back at the boathouse, James sits and listens. Outdoors, Willow tells Nina she no way allowed she'd have passions for anyone differently, but she does. She says abhorring having these passions won't make them go down, and it's not just a crush. Nina asks what about Drew is it that gets to her. Willow says she's attracted to all of him. She knows it's a cliche, but part of the magnet is that Drew's not her hubby, and she doesn't have to remind him of colorful chores and errands he has to do. She also notes Drew showed courage and strength in saving her life, and she admires how he fought to put himself back together after Pentonville. She says Drew also wants to get back to the community. She feels Michael keeps part of himself from her, but Drew doesn't do that. Nina suggests that if Michael withholds affects, it doesn't mean it's commodity bed. Willow knows Michael tries to cover her, but Drew feels she can't handle the verity. She believes Drew would no way lie to her. Nina again reminds her it was one kiss so far, and that doesn't need to change anything. Willow thanks her for saying what she demanded to hear. They head back over to the house. James eventually comes out of caching and tries to reach for the frisbee in the water, only to fall in. James begins calling out to Cody to help him as he tries to stay round. Away, Maxie is searching the grounds. She runs into Spinelli, and neither has located James. Maxie feels she should have anticipated this of James. She says Mac may not like it, but Cody has worked himself into James' heart, and he's not going anywhere. She also knows James, and he'll make sure nothing finds him unless he wants them to. Nina and Willow head to the main house and speak with Michael in the kitchen. Nina has heard the news and knows Liz will be happy to have Willow back as a nanny. Willow heads up to finish quilting, and Michael thanks Nina for keeping their discussion between them. Nina hopes Michael has a great time at the sand with his family, as he deserves it. Michael invites Nina to a family regale coming up. Willow will like to see her, and so will the kiddies. Also, Drew will be there. Nina thanks him and says she'll be there too. Back at the boathouse, Cody arrives and yells James' name. James calls out for help from the water, and Cody dives in. He manages to reach James and pull him out. Mac arrives just as Cody pulls James out. James tells Cody, "You saved me." The boy leverages Cody. At Deception, Tracy refuses to do business with Sonny because she doesn't want their brand exposed to his felonious enterprises. Lucy arrives, having been called by Natalia. Lucy asks what's on the docket. Brooklyn informs her that Sonny wants to make a multi-million-dollar investment in Deception. Lucy loves Sonny and this idea. Tracy refuses to let Sonny invest in this company, and there's no way he'll be happy just being a silent mate. She also doesn't suppose they need to bring on a stage mama who said horrible effects about her son. Natalia states she'll remorse hurting her son until the day she dies, but she did a great job managing her son's finances. Brooklyn admits that Natalia's character flies in the face of what Deception stands for. Natalia points out that as CFO, she'd be behind the scenes. Lucy loves the idea and believes this is what's stylish for Deception. Lucy feels they need a CFO, so Tracy suggests feelers out with colorful companies ELQ works with. Lucy says they'll need to invest cash as part of the job. Lucy smothers at Tracy, saying she saw all the red arrows in their last daily report and that they need plutocrat. Natalia says dealing with the red arrows would be her only job, not dealing with the products or marketing. Tracy still feels accepting Sonny's plutocrat will turn them into bookies and bootleggers. Lucy gets that she is uncomfortable working with Sonny, so she needs to call her people and find millions of bones to match Sonny's offer. At Sonny's, he and Lois continue to bandy his fiscal donation to deception. Jason arrives, and Sonny thinks, if Lois caught and trust him, what about Jason? Sonny explains he's only looking to invest in deception to help Brooklyn. Lois worries Sonny is doing this incompletely for Natalia, and she doesn't want him ensconcing his mob plutocrat at deception. Sonny promises her the plutocrat is clean, and Jason can't tell her that. Jason assures her that the cash is clean, and they've been checked by the IRS numerous times and have no way been set up careless or shamefaced of anything. Lois says Jason is known for his honesty and thanks him. She'll talk it over with Brooklyn and heads out. Alone, Sonny asks Jason what he said about the druggist. Jason reveals that Clement has faded and that he has people looking for him. Sonny thinks Clement will lead them to the person he's working for. Jason gets a call from Brick, and Clement was last seen being attended out of the sanitarium by Dainties. Jason wonders why Kate's would get involved and suggests perhaps he ordered the druggist to switch his meds. Sonny wouldn't put it past him. Brick textbooks and says Kate's is at Ava's gallery with Ava and Scott. Sonny wants eyes on all three. Jason thinks at some point the FBI will have to control Dainties in. Sonny says this is particular for Jagger, who's willing to cross lines, so he may have to do the same. Lois arrives at deception as Natalia makes a case for herself and accepting Sonny's plutocrat. Tracy says with Maxie not then, she has to be the voice of reason. Lois believes Tracy is making excellent points, and Tracy thanks her for engaging in rational thinking. Tracy says Sonny would vend out his mama to make a buck. Lois argues that Sonny has always been a man of his word and believes Sonny's plutocrat is clean. Natalia says she'll do a full forensic checkup of Corinthio's coffee, and if she finds anything shady, she'll kill the deal. Lucy welcomes their new CFO, Natalia. Tracy remains nervous about Sonny's involvement. She warns that if they let him in, it would be the end of deception, and they'd be lucky not to be attended out of their bind. At Ava's gallery, Kate tells her that he eventually has Sonny where he wants him, and it's thanks to her. He gives her a big clinch. She asks his plan B is if soliciting Sonny to the druggist doesn't work. Dainties doesn't have one, as he thinks Sonny will come looking for Clement. She says if Sonny kills Clement, she'll lose her influence over Sonny. Kate won't let that be, and he insists she'll have his protection. Scott arrives, and Ava suggests Dainties tell Scott his plan and see if he thinks it's a good idea. Kate explains his plan, and Scott asks how he can help, as this will eventually get justice for Karen. Ava says she wants Sonny to pay, too, but this seems parlous. She says Clement might reveal that she knew Sonny's meds were tampered with. Scott says they'll make a deal with him to keep quiet. Kate says first, they need to get Clement to a secure position. Scott thinks he can handle that. Dainties asks Scott where he'll take Clement. Scott says Windermere, and Kate thinks it's perfect because it's on an islet, and there are no neighbors. Scott heads out to pick Clement up and says they'll meet there. After Scott leaves, Ava still doesn't like this plan. She says his plan puts everyone at threat except Dainties. She fears if this doesn't work, she's still facing tried murder charges. She notes there are prints of her and Christina. Dainties has seen them, but if you look at them another way, they could tell a different story about what happened in that room. Scott arrives at a cabin to pick up Clement. The druggist asks who he is. Scott says he's then to deliver him. Next, on General Hospital, Laura meets with Brennan about a unique situation. Mac admits to James that he, not his mama, made a mistake. TJ and Molly tell Curtis and Stella they caught and put this off ever. Dr. Navarro presents Christina with the results of her discharge examination. Ava tells Dainties it may be a stretch trying to paint her as a victim. Sonny tells Jason he won't have a choice if Jagger forces his hand.